Don't Pass Me by Eric Gansworth. On the first day of seventh, Haley Sampson leaned against my homeroom radiators. Her eyes said, "Do not blow my cover, Doobie, if you know what's good for you." Res school only took us to the end of fifth, and then we were merged into the massive junior high just beyond our border. There, among the 900 white kids and a handful of black kids, we each made decisions about how Indian we appeared, and we respected each other's choices. Haley snapped her eyes at the beadwork keychain on my backpack. Did she recognize it as one made by her aunt? Margaret Sampson, June 1975, was written on the soft tanned leather backing. Even now, a year after Margaret had made it, the keychain held up. It was the gift I'd received at the moving up dinner held at our elementary school. Adult beadwork class members, mostly city and Indian grandma types, and younger res ladies, made them for all levels of Indian graduates, elementary, high school, and college. Class members were relearning beadwork skills they'd lost, or learning stuff their own mothers had refused to teach them. I didn't have any keys yet, so I just looped mine on my backpack's zipper tongue. My keychain was a Buckhead. My last name was Buckman, so that was a cool matchup. Kids I should have left elementary school with, like Haley, got a turtle keychain at moving up. I loved mine, but the Buckhead reminded me that I'd failed kindergarten. When you screw up taking a nap and playing with finger paint, no one forgets. And if you did happen to forget, Carson Mastic had given me a helpful nickname, Hubie Doobie the Funked Out Booby. We each adapted to our new lives differently. Haley and Carson wrapped themselves in white kid hairstyles and clothes, but you knew they were Indians as soon as you saw them with us. Bill and Andy Cruz, two cousins who I met in my kindergarten do-overs, were dark like me. We had fewer options if we wanted to disguise ourselves. Older and bigger than every kid in my class, I stuck out. Even before my beaded keychain, I refused to try passing for a kid from the Italian suburbs or passing for a tanned farm boy. Strangers would know exactly where I was from. I have a big, hawky Indian nose, thick lips, and long black hair tied in a snewe now past its second summer. When I didn't braid it, you could see it was uneven and split. Haley Sampson's dad was white, so people said she had half Indian blood, which I thought was bizarre. She bleed different colors depending on where she got cut. This half-blood allowed her to almost cover up any visible trace of us. She was better at her disguise than Carson, and he moved easily between groups, like he wore skin camouflage. The only thing giving Haley away were her Indian eyes. I don't mean that they had a melodramatic tear hanging out of them like a pool chain. They were just deep, deep brown, the color of a horse. Last spring, after her mom died, Haley had racked up enough days absent to win herself a repeat year, so we became classmates again. I thought I'd show her the ropes about being an official failure, but that first morning in homeroom, Haley sported a new, wild look beyond the usual human colors. Her face shimmered like a powdery pearl, slashed with maroon lips and lavender eyelids. Heavy black liquid gave her crow's wings for eyelashes. Her purple-black hair was sprayed into an explosion on the top of her head. It was like the white side of her had wrestled the Indian side down for the count. They'd both come out a little rougher. She was now with kids a year younger than her, and we were the only Indians in our section, and she knew no one but me. I was used to flying solo, since my place as the big Indian kid made white kids nervous. By the middle of the day, she'd begun to sit next to me. We just sat together silently, pretending that we didn't live a road apart. I knew when it was safe to talk. Just passing Indians, as soon as they got the buses, suddenly they were Indian again, like abracadabra. If you tried to chat them up in school, prepare to be ignored. At the end of the day, I silently went to my locker, and she went to hers. "So you look kind of different these days," I said as we neared the safety bubble of the res buses. "What's going on up in here?" I motioned around her head. "As soon as I can, I'm signing up for BOCES," she said, as if she hadn't ignored me all day. "I get my cosmetology license. Then, fast as we're out, I'll have the perfect job training. I can't sign up until 9th, so right now I'm practicing on myself and my old Barbie glamour head." I nodded. My girl cousins had those heads too, perched in their bedroom dressers, slathered in makeup and sporting ratted, spiky blonde halos. Dismembered Barbie heads freaked me out. Barbies reminded me of the scaring flying head in the stories our Gramps told. He claimed those heads cruised around the res to catch kids awake past bedtime. After a while, I refused to go to my cousin's room. Sometimes one of those girls would chase me with the Barbie head, making haunted noises if she felt especially evil and ambitious. You could use a sprucing up, Haley added. I could even those out. She touched the scroungy tip of my schneeway, plucking at my split ends. In the 2 years I'd been growing my hair long, it had never been touched by a girl. A dumb guy might think this would change how we talked to each other, but I knew better. The next morning, as soon as we left the bus, she got res amnesia again. I took what I could get. That's the end of part 1. So right now, you should write a summary, part 1, on your document.